Hey guys, LQ here with the LQ review, with my review of episode 3 of Jordan Peele's The Twilight Zone. So this is Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone reboot. We are now 3 episodes in, and this most recent episode is called Replay. And it involves Sana Latham's character. She's a mother. Her son is getting ready to go to college. And obviously an African-American family. She's a single mom taking care of her son on her own. And her son's getting ready to enroll in college, and she is driving him to college, and she learns that now she carries around this old camcorder, and she learns that when she hits rewind on this old camcorder, she's able to reverse time and replay it again. That's why the episode's called Replay. Now things get more sticky, things get more dangerous when there is a police officer, a cop, who continuously pops up in their lives and in some cases assaults, in other cases actually kills her son. So she continuously presses replay to try to rewind things and try to figure out how she's going to try to avoid this cop now. Because in every scenario that she goes through, this cop, who's clearly a racist police officer, is after her and after her son. So I do not have a problem with social commentary. I don't. Social commentary, art is built on social commentary oftentimes. Oftentimes you cannot get wonderful art without reflecting on society. They go hand in hand a lot. Sometimes you get your Bayhem, your action movies that don't have any social commentary, that they exist to entertain. But when you're talking about art, when you're talking about looking at movies and looking at TV shows as works of art, oftentimes they're telling you something about what's happening in our society. So I do not mind social commentary. What I do mind is being preached at without any concern for entertainment. All right, I will not enjoy a movie at all if it's a movie or a TV show, if the purpose is to push an agenda, and I don't care if that agenda is conservative, liberal, or somewhere in the middle. I'm not going to enjoy it if the purpose of it is to push an agenda and entertainment is secondary. I'm just not going to enjoy it, because my number one reason for seeing a movie or watching a TV show is to be entertained. And if they want to tell me something during that process, that's fine. If they want to give me a viewpoint on something during the process, that's fine. But my number one purpose is to be entertained. So I always get a little irked when the social commentary is the primary purpose for the movie or TV show existing, and entertainment is secondary. That bothers me. I'm happy to report that in this episode, it is super entertaining. It is scary. It is just permeated with dread. And that's what this episode had to have. Yeah, there's a boatload of social commentary in it about how African Americans fear law enforcement. And we can debate all day whether it's right or wrong to fear law enforcement. You can't debate that there are reasons behind African Americans fearing law enforcement. And this episode dives into those reasons. And this actress, Sana Latham, this mom, she takes lots of different approaches. She takes the trying to avoid the police officer approach. She takes the approach when he comes to the car, be respectful, say yes sir, do what he asks. She takes that approach and it ends up badly. She ends up at one point buying him a piece of pie and sitting down and talking to him and getting to know him. And this was actually my favorite scene of the episode because it humanized him also. All right. There are evil people in this world, and make no mistake, the police officer in this episode was evil, but it humanized him in the sense that you understand all right, he has some bad stuff happening in his life too. You know, and maybe it's because he's an awful person, or maybe he's an awful person because of the things that have happened in his life, and they don't really say one way or the other. Make no mistake, though, he's an evil person. He is the antagonist, and you know, the things that he does in this episode are horrible. But I like the fact that Jordan Peele wanted to humanize him and make him not just this force of nature out to get them, but this is a person and he has got problems. And maybe him being a horrible person causes his problems, or maybe he's becoming a horrible person as a result of his problems. We don't really know, but I just love the fact that they tackled this from so many different angles. And you know what? Every time that there's people saying online that, you know, black people shouldn't be afraid of police officers, just act this way. You know, we saw every one of those ways that people suggest play out in this episode, and none of them turned out good. So I thought that was fascinating to see that and see it done so well and so entertaining. This was very entertaining, and it was, like I said, just a lot of dread, a lot of terror. I was at the edge of my seat wondering every time a new scenario unfolded. Every time she'd press rewind and a new scenario unfolded, I was just at the edge of my seat wondering, how's this going to play out now? How's this going to play out now? Now, one thing that I didn't care so much for was the end. You know what? I can buy one police officer on the force being a racist, bigoted, horrible, evil person. But when the entire force comes in, it looked like every police officer in town was there. I just don't buy that. I don't buy that. I personally know several police officers, and none of them are racist, horrible people. So to suggest that everybody on this force would be a racist, horrible person, that just seems unrealistic to me. It seems... that seems a little agenda-ish. That seems a little agenda-ish to me. Now that's not to take away the fact, you know, I'm not saying that there aren't bad police officers. There are. But my experience has always been that, you know, I know some black police officers and white police officers, and they've all been in it to protect and serve. Every one of them that I know is, and I believe that the vast majority of police officers in this nation are in it to protect and serve. Yes, there are some evil people who are there to abuse their power. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But I don't know, the idea that every police officer at the end of this episode was evil and was backing him up, it was, I don't know. I just found it off-putting. I was more into the one police officer being a monster than all of them. And I know what Jordan Peele was trying to say. He was trying to say that police officers are going to protect their own, even if they're guilty. I get what they were trying to say. I just found it off-putting. So whether that's right or wrong, you know, whatever. But to me, it was a bad way to end the episode. But overall, great episode. It's actually, the Twilight Zone episodes are getting progressively better. I liked this one more than The Comedian. I liked this one more than Nightmare at 30,000 Feet. This was a fantastic episode. Just a very scary, edge of your seat thrill ride that I just had a lot of fun with. So, and it did have social commentary, but it was okay because it was entertaining. Jordan Peele followed my number one rule of movies and TV, and that is make it entertaining. You can say whatever you want through the course of the movie or the course of the TV show, as long as your audience is entertained. And I was very entertained. I liked it a lot, and he did a great job with it. So that's my review of episode 3 of The Twilight Zone, entitled Replay. Have you seen it? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for being here at the LQ Review, where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, thanks for being here.